welcome to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here, and it is Monday, so we're gonna do just learning today. So what you're gonna need is just pencil and eraser, some paper to draw on, and what we're gonna do today is something along the lines of learning how to take inspiration from stuff to get creative. So if you're ever sitting there trying to think of a character, a creature, or an object, or something to draw, and you're just out of ideas, and sometimes you can take inspiration from things. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this woolly fuzzy moth thing here to create character. Okay, so what you want to do is just kind of look at it and take different aspects of it to turn it into something unique. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start building up head shape. So remember, you want to start off lightly, just so you have something as a base that can be erased. Okay, so I'm going to start with this circle. I'm going to take me a line and I'm going to kind of curve it down and do kind of like a 3/4 view. And then just extend that down like we normally do our heads. Okay. We want to kind of get our eyes in place, so I'm going to draw this line across. Okay. And then from there, I can start to sketch out the cheek of my face. I'm going to do a little bit more rounded. Okay, we bring it back on that jawline. So I have like a basic head set up. Alright, so now that I have that, I can get rid of this little circle piece here in the middle. Okay, so like I said, we're just going to take certain aspects, but I am going to give this person a nose. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of sketch in a circle for now, just to have it there. Now if we look at the moth, we have these really big eyes. So I'm going to give my character some big eyes, just to really accentuate what we see. In the moth itself. So since we're doing that, I'm going to come out and put this like little angular shape here and just thicken up the eyelash area, and come back down and do the same on this back side and just thicken that up. And then down here towards the bottom, go ahead and darken that and give it a slight little eyelash mark back here on the side. Okay, now I'm going to come to this other side over here. We want to do the same thing. We want to give her some really big eyeballs. So if we have to round it out past that point, that's fine. Okay, and I want to do the same thing. That same kind of eyelash shape here on the corner. We're going to take that back, make that come off the eye there. Okay, we'll put a slight one down here at the bottom. Remember, if at any time you need to, you can pause the video. Okay, so we have that in place. I have my nose. Now if we look at the head, we have this huge dip down that wraps around the eyes, but we're not going to do that. At least not for now. We want to play with some stuff first. So let's go ahead and just give this character a mouth. So what I want to do is come down to this region. Okay, I'm going to come back here put a slight little smile on the face. Okay. Now we want to kind of start shaping our head. What I do want to do is we have our chin here. So I want it to be a little bit closer. So I'm going to draw this line up closer to the lip here. Okay, and as I come up towards the side of the face, I'm going to round it up that way. Erase that out. Let's bring the cheek back out just a little bit more and have it curve in. Okay, so we can bring this down a little bit straighter. Okay, and then I want to come off my eyebrows here and give that little edge to the forehead right there. Now again, we're giving her over exaggerated eyes, but now that I have them drawn in, I can get rid of this center line that's coming across. Okay, I can go ahead, if we look, our moth has solid black eyes, so why not go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put these little black, or these little white circles in here. Just so I can color around that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color that in. I'm going to make that nice and dark. You don't have to go so black that you're going to break, your pencil pressing down super hard, but we want to fill it in. So I'm going to go ahead and go around those white circles just so I have that reflectiveness. Might actually need to make this one a little bit bigger so it shows up more. Okay, so I'm just going to go around that. Now, do you have to go like 100% one for one? Like, oh, the moth's got black eyes. No, you could just use certain features of the moth, but I'm just taking the eyes just so that it's known that that's what we used. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in that other eye. And you could, if you wanted to later, you could say that that's what this girl or whatever can turn into, but she still retains some of the features when she's in human form. That's just, the whole point is trying to think creatively to make what it is you're trying to make. Okay, so I want to get my nose in here, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the little part at the bottom, and I'm going to go around and make this nose shape. Come out this way to give her a nostril. Probably need to make it a little bit wider, not too much, but just a little bit. Again, it doesn't have to match mine one for one. If you want to give it a different nose shape, that's 100% okay. Okay, so I have that. And I really want to emphasize this curve on the nose. And that's just for this character. You don't have to do that with all the characters that you draw. Okay, so I'm going to erase that out. I don't need the center line anymore. And I'm going to put just a slight bump over there for the other side of the nose. And we can make, let's not put that in there. Let's just curve ourselves a line down a little bit. Okay, so we have that established. We have our cheek here, so I can finalize that. Now as I come around with my chin, want to kind of bring it up a little bit and then curve into that jawline. Now we have a couple options here because we have the those antenna that come off. You could do something where you wanted to make it an eyebrow that comes off that way, or you could do it like exactly what it is, like little antennas coming off. So what I want to do is we want to build this up to kind of resemble what it is we're trying to do. So this person we're going to give some short hair to. Okay. So we want it to look more on the fuzzy side. So let's just leave those two down there. And bring the rest over. We could probably add just a little bit here and there. But we really want to get these pieces coming through here. Even so much so that we're going to go down over our ear to kind of sell that fuzziness a little bit. So again, it doesn't have to be anything special, and we're not going for like super quality, just trying to learn how to build and create something out of it. Okay, so now that we have that hair established in there, like that, I want to go ahead and come back down here. I want to go ahead and give her an upper lip. Okay, and adjust this mouth a little bit. Like that. Okay, so we have our hair. And then what we can do to make it interesting, we could make almost like she's wearing maybe a headband. So we can pull this over to the side here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in this circle. Okay, and then on the other side, I'm going to see a very small part of that circle. But then I want to connect with the other side. So I want to bring this top piece over as evenly as possible, just so it looks like a band going across her head. So I can probably just go ahead and just erase out that little piece of hair. So we have our little part of our circle, and then the part of our band here. Okay. And then the rest of this we can bring down, and it kind of disappears into the hair. Okay. So now I'm going to take this and add a little bit of an edge to it. Okay. Then I can come out. Let's say it comes out from here. So I'm going to draw this little shape in here that our antenna is going to come out of. Okay, so we can take that and curve that around. I want to keep this closer together, and then as I come out, I want to get it really close, just so it thins out. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on this side. So I'm going to take it back. And bring it around that way. Okay. So if we look, it's almost like a feather when it comes off, so we can kind of look at different aspects of it. And just start giving it those shapes. Come on the other side and do the same thing. Again, pause the video if you need to. So I'm almost going for kind of like a feather shape with it, even though we know it's not. But remember, we're just taking aspects of the moth and sticking it in there. Okay. So we're going to go on this side, this one. So now we have those two things on there. We can come down here and we can draw our neck. So we want to kind of come from under the jawline here. Okay. And then come out a little bit here. Now if we look, insect has a lot of that fluffiness around, right? So what can we give her? Well, we could come this way around, right? And we could give her this puffy kind of collar. That'll go around. It's almost like the clothes she's wearing. Like that. Probably should turn the hair on this side a little bit more. Okay. And then same thing when we come on this inside. Just want to add that kind of fur texture to it. Okay. And then our shoulders would come out from here. And we'd have sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. I was not positioned right on the camera there. So, just gonna get a slight shape here. Okay. And then to kind of, if you look at the feet, you kind of get these like thick fur pieces that kind of wrap around the leg. So we're going to wrap that around on the arm, almost like it's a fur sleeve on her arm, part of the jacket, whatever she's wearing. It's completely up to you how you want to design that. we're just getting little fur shapes in. Okay. Let's bring that up some. Right there, make it a little bit more even. Okay, and we're going to be able to see a little part of the shoulder coming down over here. So that means we're going to add in some more fur over here. Just like that. Then we have those wings, right? So let's think about how we could incorporate those. We could actually give her wings. You don't have to, but we could. Or it could just be something that drapes around off the shoulder here, right? So we could just come here and make it seem like she just has these wings, almost like a decorative piece, I guess. Okay. So you could just do them like that. And then we could add another just like she's just being super stylish. Maybe she's got a piece that kind of hangs off here. And it's just part of the outfit. Okay. So we do the same over here, but just not as long because it's at an angle. Probably should actually take that up some at more of an angle upwards since the other one is. So let's do that. Let's go upwards, bring that back down. And we could get that in that way. Okay. So I'm going to do my refinement lines. Just darken up those areas that are super sketchy, kind of clean it up. With the fur, all that stuff, just so it stands out a little bit more. Obviously I'm going to do my little trademark outlining, but I want to make sure that these parts are standing out. Okay, so what we did was we just took different features of this fuzzy moth, okay, and we were trying to turn it into either a character or a creature. We could have done a complete just creature thing, and we can do that next week if you want, taking something and turn it into a creature like a bug or something, and taking those features instead of doing like we did with the animals last time. Insects are a little bit easier to make something more creaturey, for lack of a better word. But yeah, so we're just going to go around, we're going to darken up some of these loose lines to really solidify our final design. And again, you don't have to do all the same thing I do, so if you were following along with this and just seeing how we were piecing things together, what you could do is, for the homework, do the same thing. You can take this same picture, but come up with your own creature, person, whatever you want, and do a redesign, do your own interpretation or take on it. So for the homework, just look up different bugs and animals. And remember, it doesn't have to be something living. You could take an old grandfather clock, cuckoo clock, um, a silverware set of some kind that looks fancy. You can take features from that to make a giant mech robot. It's completely up to you. That's the whole point of the exercise, is to help get your creative juices going, to do just that, to be creative. Okay. And the key thing with art is, I know it can be difficult at times, I do that myself, is to not compare how your stuff turns out to somebody else. Art is very subjective. Some people will sit there and say, man, that looks awesome, and other people will be like, yeah, I don't get it. But that's the whole point, is do it for you. Don't do it for somebody else, unless your job requires you to do that. So I'm going to go around and put my trademark thicker lines on the outside edge here. So yeah, just remember, for the homework, just take some stuff. It can be anything in the world. Does not have to be bugs or insects. And I want you to try to create your own character or creature, or heck, even if you want to use it to, like, maybe you could have taken the moth and designed it into a I don't know, like a car or an airplane of some kind. I mean, if you think about it, I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie Avatar, or I should say James Cameron's Avatar, or which one was it? Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, where they have those little flying machines on the Battle of Kashyyyk with the Wookiees, or an Avatar, the ones that they're flying around, but it kind of looks like a dragonfly, almost, with flapping wings. There was another movie that had that as well, and it looked really cool. But yeah, that's the point. It's just when you're trying to think of things to be creative with, sometimes you just need to pull, like, real, they do in the movies and stuff, pull from real life. Find an insect and see if you can turn it into something unique. Because those dragonfly ships were really cool. I was like, whoa, man, I never would have thought of that. Of course, I was younger then, but still, there's always things in real life and nature to pull from for your ideas. If you're ever just having, like, writers have writer's block, artists can have artist block. So sometimes you just have to sit down and hop on to Google and just type in something random, like insects or nature photos, and you might find something that sparks your creative ideas to help turn it into something. Okay, so this wasn't nothing too fancy. This was just to show you how to pull from ideas, so we weren't going like super detailed or going for something super stellar. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it helps motivate you to start getting creative. And please feel free to leave a comment down below on anything you would like to learn how to do. And I will try to make that video for you, as well as go on to my Twitter at WickedArt5 and share your progress with me. I'd love to see your guys' work and see how far you've come. and see how much better you're getting. 'Cause that's the cool thing about art. When you learn how to do art, sometimes you can get better than the person that you're watching the video from, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So this is our little furry moth creature. Again, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. And until next time, I will see you in the next one. And just keep on sketching, okay? Bye.